Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the NFL Superstar That Went Crazy documentary. I'm guessing this is probably Antonio Brown. So let's check this out.
Receivers of the modern era, a 6-year stretch that would eclipse even the greatest receivers in NFL history.
That shit down a little bit. AB.
The greatest Antonio Brown.
We saw Antonio Brown. Well, why would you do Antonio Brown? Let me remind you guys, Antonio Brown on the football field was one bad
However,
Nah, for real.
one of the NFL's most dominant receivers on a Hall of Fame trajectory would suffer such a sharp and tragic downfall, leading many to believe that he had in fact gone insane.
And it was all because of that hit from Vontaze Burfict
He should be ashamed of himself.
that really started to down spiral his career.
I would never, ever want to play for.
Allegations overnight against NFL star Antonio Brown, accused of sexually assaulting a woman who worked as his trainer.
Tonight, Tampa police say they're trying to arrest former NFL player Antonio Brown, making multiple attempts outside this home to execute an arrest warrant for battery domestic violence.
Uploaded a team letter detailing his fines. Reportedly, he and Mayock got into a heated exchange at practice, with Brown threatening Mayock.
You expect to see Antonio Brown in the NFL again?
Hours-long standoff between NFL star Antonio Brown and the Tampa Police Department.
Moving truck driver who was allegedly assaulted by NFL legend Antonio Brown.
Yo.
So you trying to say I'm diagnosed with CTE from a hit?
Yep.
The same thing
Yep.
I walk
Cause
up
you are, bro. You are. Like, all this stuff didn't start happening until after that hit from Vontaze Burfict, bro. But I really think he got CTE, like, real talk.
that I didn't want to get CTE. It's the same thing they put on me to say I got CTE to crazy.
I wanted to tell you guys James Harrison gave me CTE, and he hit me one time, and ever since he hit me, I've been super aggressive.
Yeah, Vontaze Burfict.
Lewis Harris is gonna be flagged for this on the hit on Antonio Brown.
I thought it was Vontaze Burfict who hit him.
Vontaze Burfict, and yes,
Yeah, it was Vontaze Burfict.
Brown is still down.
One of Brown's earliest memories was watching a man steal a purse from his elementary school teacher,
Yo.
dashing away as the shocked students looked on. Brown grew up in a small neighborhood called Gwen Cherry Park in Miami, Florida, a place that fostered some of the NFL's biggest stars. A low-income neighborhood where gangs ruled the streets. As Antonio grew older, several of his friends joined the John Doe gang, which controlled the crack cocaine trade in
Yo.
Liberty City. Every party I went to ended in a shootout. Brown's childhood coach and father of T.Y. Hilton stated that 3 of his players had been murdered.
Dang,
At
R.I.P.
home,
man.
Brown had a strained relationship with his father-in-law, which would culminate in Brown leaving the house and surviving by sleeping at teammates' homes and sometimes in his car. Brown would begin to truly flourish as an athlete in high school. Attending Miami Northland High School, Brown quickly became a standout athlete, playing quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and punt returner.
Dang, bro,
Brown would
versatile.
terrorize defenses,
Oh my gosh.
showcasing his elite speed and
AB?
athleticism. But even with Brown's
Lil AB? Okay.
Brown would fail to get a scholarship offer due to poor grades. He was
Dang.
able to raise his grades and received a scholarship to play at Florida International University. But an incident would occur that would mark the beginning of a dark trend that would continue throughout his life.
They said we're gonna say you were never here. What the fuck, bro?
Brown was walking on campus with a friend. An altercation occurred between the friend and another student, and campus security was called. Upon arrival, an argument ensued involving Brown and the security guard. It's unknown what exactly occurred in the altercation, but after the dispute, Brown fled in panic. In response to the incident, FIU expelled Antonio Brown.
Dang.
The school told Brown, "We're gonna say you were never here." Brown, however, would bounce back.
That young man right there, Antonio Brown, is his favorite receiver. Antonio is quite a talent.
Dang.
And there he is, Antonio Brown.
Bro wore
Enrolling at
27?
Central Michigan University, trying out for the football team as a walk-on freshman. And in just 3 years, Brown would become the school's all-time leader in receptions and would rank in the top 3 in receiving yards and touchdowns. And on January 7th, 2010, Brown would enter the 2010 NFL Draft.
With the first pick in the 2010 NFL Draft.
Oh, he was number 1 over. Wait. Brown would be selected by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, I was about to say, bro. I thought he was about to say he was the number 1 overall pick for a second. I was about to say, I do not remember that. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 teams look past me. Even the Steelers. So every time I go out there, it's a little added motivation. Hey, that's exactly how you gotta see it, bro. You gotta have that mindset like that, bro, to be great in this league.
He would return a kick for an 89-yard touchdown.
I remember
laying
this.
The foundation for his Hall of Fame caliber career. Brown would become one of the most prolific receivers.
Like, if he didn't like start going crazy, bro, he would have. He would have definitely been a future Hall of Famer for sure. I don't know about that now because of, you know what I'm saying, his actions and stuff, but
1,000 yards receiving the year before, had been to a Pro Bowl as a receiver.
Ryan Clark.
So he's walking by, and I said to myself, I'm talking to Coach Gary Guimont, strength coach. I said, when y'all give him his money, you're going to create a monster.
That's exactly what happened, too.
At a Steelers practice in 2012, Brown had just signed a 5-year, $42.5 million contract.
Oh my gosh.
His confidence was at an all-time high. Years later, now former Steelers safety Ryan Clark would describe an incident between himself and AB that nearly led to a fight. The Steelers were running one-on-ones, and in one particular matchup between himself and cornerback Keenan Lewis, Brown became angered at Lewis's physical approach and began to yell at him and the defenders on the sideline, stating, "Don't touch me, I'm the franchise." Defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau then yelled at Brown.
Dick LeBeau, bro. There's no way that's his name.
By berating him and cussing him out in the middle of practice, which led Ryan Clark to get involved.
Right, he says he's the franchise. He says you can't touch me. He's talking to Keenan Lewis and different guys that are covering. And we almost get into a physical altercation that day.
Stating, "I'm gonna you up," and stating to the coaches in the sideline that they should have never given him the money.
Why y'all was fighting? We were fighting you because you believed you were the team.
In an episode of the Pivot podcast, Brown describes his side of the story. Brown stated that other Steelers players were jealous of him because of how young he was and how much money he was making, and that sparked the incident. He stated that a DB slapped him in his helmet on a play, and on the next play, Brown returned the favor, which led to the blow-up. Brown would also state that this animosity he felt between himself and his teammates would be a constant throughout the year, describing a practice in which he and cornerback Ike Taylor came to blows, leaving Ike Taylor bruised and bloodied.
Dang. Brown messed him up that bad. Yo, I don't remember that. Oh, that's like the fines he had? Yeah, this was uncalled for. Then this, dang, 11 grand? I understand the one when he kicked the Browns kicker in the face, cause that was definitely uncalled for, but for him to get fined for running backwards like that is insane. Vontaze Burfict, bro, a menace.
Brown would state that he
I completely despise Vontaze Burfict.
And talking on the sideline.
Dirty player, bro.
Any of this. In many people's eyes, this hit would serve as the turning point in Antonio Brown's life, leading to his downfall.
Shopify's point-of-sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. With fast and
Now launching point for me is that AFC wildcard game. Never small. Dang.
After a divisional playoff win against the Kansas City Chiefs, Brown decided to start a Facebook Live, a direct violation of NFL rules.
Oh.
Brown had been paid by Facebook over $200,000 to create content for live channels.
Oh,
Brown
wow.
saw this as a perfect opportunity, and while filming, he caught something that would put his head coach in hot water.
Wow.
So be it. We'll be ready for the ass. But you ain't got to tell them they come. Keep it low profile. Let's get ready to ball up this up again here in a few days and be right back at it. Let's go. Hey, man, this is our story. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Cool on social media, man. This is about us. Nobody else, man.
The video, and in particular the speech
Bro.
of Brown and head coach Mike Tomlin. on the
Tomlin
field,
is
leading to
crazy.
Tomlin addressing the incident during a press conference. He apologized for the language he used in reference to the New England Patriots, and an irate Tomlin would address Brown's actions.
The last element of the discussion is Antonio himself. And I'll be bluntly honest here. It was foolish of him to do that. It was selfish for him to do that. And it was inconsiderate.
Towards the end of the press conference, Tomlin would foreshadow what would become of Brown's career.
I think that's oftentimes why you see great players move around from team to team. I definitely don't want that to be his story. I'm sure he doesn't.
And it was his story.
So he has to address these things.
Dang. Oh, I remember this. I remember this.
Thrown by Antonio Brown.
In week 4 of the 2017 season,
Against
Antonio
Baltimore.
Brown was frustrated over
Yes,
not
sir.
being thrown the ball. He went over to the side.
I understand his frustration, but like, bro, you're a grown man throwing Gatorade containers, bro.
Away from him. Brown's final year in Pittsburgh would be marred with controversy and scandal. In the fourth quarter of a matchup between the Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs, Brown was seen on the sidelines in a heated argument with the offensive coordinator, Randy Fichtner. Receiver coach Daryl Drake attempted to calm down Brown, but Brown wasn't having it, seen making remarks toward Drake. With less than 2 minutes left in the game, Ben Roethlisberger ran in for the touchdown, and as the team celebrated with the longtime Steelers QB, Brown walked over to the sideline alone, leading to speculation that something was amiss between the QB and wide receiver duo. After the incident, former team employee Ryan Scarpino tweeted that Brown was lucky to have Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback, and credited Roethlisberger for Brown's success in the league. Brown responded with, "Trade me, let's find out."
Yo!
Into a frenzy. The following day, Brown failed to show up for team meetings. And
No, I don't remember that.
a couple of days prior to Brown going AWOL, an article was published.
I wasn't even
on
on
Brown's
Twitter like
use of
that back
social
then,
media.
so.
They interviewed some of Brown's former employees and also spoke to the mother of one of Brown's children, which sent him over the edge. Tweeting
Dang.
at the journalist Jesse Washington, "Wait till I see you, bro. We gonna see what your jaw like." Just 4 weeks into the 2018 season, the Steelers and Brown were on the verge of falling apart. However, Brown's problems would not be limited to the gridiron.
April
At 10:08
2018.
p.m., police received a call from Brown to report a theft. Upon arrival, police found the agitated and irate Brown yelling at security, claiming that they set him up. The items Brown claims were stolen were a firearm and $80,000.
80 grand.
Infuriated, Brown
Yo.
began to destroy his apartment, breaking his coffee table and throwing items around
Close
his apartment
close
and
to
over his
schools,
balcony,
bro.
nearly
Close to
striking a
schools.
2-year-old boy with vases, an ottoman, and pieces of furniture.
Bro just
falling
did not
on the
care.
boy and his grandfather. Brown would be sued by the boy's family and the owner of Brown's multi-million-dollar condo. In November, Brown was pulled over for driving over 100 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. Upon returning to Heinz Field, Brown flips off the cameras. In week 6 of the 2018 season, on a play eerily similar to the one in the 2015 wildcard game, Brown would receive yet another hit to the head from none other than Vontez.
See, this is what I'm saying, bro.
Brown falls to the turf.
Perfect is a
Face mask.
dangerous
Brown gets up
player.
and is helped over to the sideline and is evaluated for a concussion. Over the course of the season, Brown's relationship with the Steelers, and in particular with Ben Roethlisberger, had become increasingly strained.
Look at Big Ben in the background.
A couple days before the season finale. During a walk-through practice, an intense altercation occurred between Brown and Roethlisberger. After Brown ran the wrong route on a play, Roethlisberger threw the ball to the ground and stated, "Get him out of here. Get somebody else out here." An irate Brown grabbed the football and threw it in Roethlisberger's direction. After this incident, Brown would not show up to any more practices that week. But on game day against the Bengals, Brown showed up, expecting to play, regardless of how many practices he had missed. One Steelers player called the incident embarrassing and the worst I've seen. Brown left the game at halftime, even with the Steelers' playoff hopes on the line. In a tweet by sports writer Jason Lencamfora, he describes the incident as the third time this season that Brown had gone AWOL on the team. On January 1st, 2019, Camphora tweeted, "Antonio Brown has requested a trade. I'm told it was not a demand, but he has asked to be dealt. Brown has issues with Mike Tomlin."
Bro, imagine having power like that and just ask for a trade to tell him something. It's not a demand. He asked to be dealt. Like, bro.
Feels like the coach is too aligned with the QB. On February
AB thought he was the stuff, bro, for real.
Thank you, Steeler Nation, for a big 9 years. Time to move on.
Thought he had the whole world in his hands.
Brown was on the trade block, and one team was nearing a deal with the superstar wide.
Dang! Oh my gosh, he landed on his face.
Bills. Reports soon began to surface
Bro.
that the Steelers and Bills were nearing a deal for the star.
Bro, imagine
receiver.
AB
The Bills
Josh
abruptly
Allen.
decided to move on from the star receiver, which stunned many.
Sheesh. That should have been crazy.
It wasn't even a matter of money at that point, so the deal fell through. Steelers and Bills had stopped talking, and both sides had moved on. Market for Brown is pretty bleak right now. And on March 9th, a trade deal was reached.
With the Raiders, right?
An agreement to trade the four-time All-Pro to Oakland for a fifth-round pick and a third-round pick.
They are now giving him a new 3-year deal that's worth up to $54.125 million.
How do you feel about this AB trade?
My apologies to ESPN. I'm not supposed to use this word. I'm pissed off. I can't believe that the Steelers made this move.
Your reaction to Antonio Brown, now an Oakland Raider?
He won.
I think the Steelers will be better next year without Antonio Brown.
Skip Bayless, bruh.
In Brown's introductory press conference with the team, he appeared humble and ready to move forward.
Didn't he get cut by them two and then sign with the Patriots?
Everything around me. I'm here to just be a surge of energy, of positivity, and good force. A great teammate, and to bring out the best of everyone around me. Because we all know it's not just about me. On August 3rd, Brown would post a picture to Instagram showing his frostbitten feet. An injury occurred due to wearing improper footwear during cryotherapy. This caused him to miss 10 out of 11 training camp practices with his new team.
Oh my
Brown
gosh.
seemed to be finally recovering and ready to step back on the field, except there was one problem. He was no longer allowed to wear his old helmet due to the NFL policy, focused on phasing out older helmets in favor of new, safer ones. But Brown was not happy. He clashed with coaches over the issue.
Bro, it's not that
He gets thrown out of
serious.
Practice, attempted to sneak his old helmet onto the field, and going so far as trying to paint it to mirror the mandated helmet in the hopes no one would notice.
Bro, AB is wildin', yo.
He was not allowed to wear his old helmet. Brown would file 2 grievances with the league over the helmet issue, both of which would be denied, and Brown would finally move on to a new helmet. On September 4th, Brown would tweet a photo of a letter he received from the Raiders organization that informed Brown he would be fined $13,950.
Oh my gosh, that's almost 14 grand.
On August 22nd,
Yo.
to outline that Brown was previously fined $40,000 for missing Raiders preseason training camp on August 18th, and if he continued to miss mandatory team activities, he would be subject to additional fines and discipline. In large white lettering, Brown voiced his displeasure with the fines. "When your own team wanna hate, but there's no stopping me now. Devil is a lie. Everyone got to pay this year, so we clear." A post that was heavily criticized by commentators. One day later, Brown would confront GM Mike Mayock on the practice field.
He's a cancer on the football team. He's a destroyer. He is, though.
The argument was described as very
I don't
ugly
see no
and occurred in
lies.
front of many Raider teammates. During the screaming
Bro,
match
like he
between
wanna
Brown
kiss
and
him,
Mayock,
bro.
Brown called Mayock a cracker and that he would hit him in his face. Brown was held back by teammates.
Oh my my gosh. Yo, there's no way, AB. This man really called him a cracker. Now, bro, if this coach would have said the hard R, bro, AB would have probably stole off on him. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I wouldn't even be mad at the coach because AB started it. But like that wouldn't be class act. So W for the coach for not clapping back like that.
Unconscious in 2015.
Dang.
Vontaze Burfict. Brown then punted the ball and stated to Mayock, "Find me for that." Brown would later apologize for the incident, but after becoming aware that the Raiders voided the guaranteed money from his contract, he voiced his anger on social media, posting, "You are gonna piss a lot of people off when you start doing what's best for you, and that's fine. I have worked my whole life to prove that the system is blind to see talent like mine's. Now that everyone sees it, they want me to conform to that same system that has failed me all those years. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm asking for the freedom to prove them all wrong. Release me." Brown would be released by the Raiders later that day and would be fined $215,000.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's like 8 fines in his career.
Not take very long, and
Look at Ian Rappaport. He laughing, yo.
It's extremely real. A 1-year deal for Antonio Brown with the New England Patriots.
With hopes of a new beginning. At least he got his ring with Brady on the Bucks. That was definitely his last shot.
September 10th.
Accused of rape, yo.
Accusing him of 3 separate incidents.
Now I don't think I remember this one.
That occurred in 2017 and 2018. The first alleged incident was in June 2017. Taylor says Brown exposed himself and kissed her without consent at one of his Pittsburgh area homes. A month later, while at Brown's home in his native Miami, Brown near her without her knowledge and down her back, then later bragged about it in a series of text messages.
Wait, so he mastered, down her back, near her without her knowledge, and he oh my gosh. I'm not gonna say what it says, but for the people that's of age, y'all know what that says, bro.
2018, after out at a Miami area club, she went back to Brown's home in Miami to use the bathroom and have some food. And Brown forced her onto a bed, pushed her face into the mattress, and forcibly raped her. These allegations would once again send Brown back into the limelight. But even amidst these allegations, Brown would still make his debut for New England.
Brady, end zone, caught by Brown, touchdown, New England.
A second woman came for it too. Like, yo.
In an article by Robert Klemko, an anonymous woman describes an incident in which she was invited to Brown's home to paint a mural. The situation soon became uncomfortable. "I was about 40% done on the second day, and I'm on my knees painting the bottom.
Oh
and he
no.
walks up to me, butt-ass naked, with a handcloth covering his and starts having a conversation with me. She took it as a clear sexual come on, but she brushed it off and focused on painting. Soon afterward, Brown would completely ghost the woman, leaving the mural unfinished. However, the story didn't end there. Soon afterward, a series of threatening text messages would be sent to the woman from Brown's phone number, claiming she was only out for money, asking others to look into her background, including a photo of her kids. The article also
not the kids, bro. AB, you wilding out now for real.
Domestic disturbances. A settlement was reached between Brown and his former trainer, Taylor.
Oh, she bad.
And after just one game with the team, he would be cut by the New England Patriots.
Dang.
To the sergeant. Okay. Nah, bro, you guys talk. This card been looking for 3-4 weeks. I don't want you guys acting off dumb. We talking like, man, let's be real. Okay. This girl came to take my kids to school. I let her access to get the clothes.
On January 13th, 2020, Brown went live on Instagram, recording his ex-girlfriend trying to drive away in his Bentley. Brown would curse out and criticize the Hollywood Police Department for their inaction in this situation.
She don't have no car. This is a baser. She have 2 other kids. She stay at a hotel. Look at her. She's a fucking lost cause. Look at her. Look at her.
She a lost cause.
Gotta make calls to get justice. The police can't even know what to do. They gotta call, they feel me, call it. This is what we gotta do. This is white versus black right here in your face, right here. The NFL. This is real.
Somebody said stay off the coke. Bro.
Police not helping. Police got me out here with the kids. Look, this guy can't even do his job. He gotta call more thing. Chester, you look like a fish. Fish out of water. You look dead. Look at her. Where your other two kids? Baser.
After the video, AB would voice his anger on Twitter, tweeting, "Hollywood police and I need a meeting unless I'm going to show their track record of my injustice consistently. This lack of respect and increasing domestic incidents would cause a sharp divide between Brown and the Hollywood PD." In a statement, Hollywood Police said Monday that Brown had a relationship with the department's Police Athletic League for a number of years. He donated money to PAL and spent time with the kids in the program, police said. But police say Brown's increasing number of domestic incidents that need police intervention has caused an irreparable rift between the police department and PAL and Mr. Brown. As a result, the department returned the check he donated to the Athletic League for its 7-on-7 football league. Police also gave him a trespass warning for the league's property because we did not want him to continue to affect our youth nor influence them in any negative way, police said. Just days later, a warrant would be issued for Brown's arrest.
First at noon, former NFL star Antonio Brown faced a judge this morning after he turned
Dang.
himself in. Police issued a warrant for his arrest following an incident with a delivery driver at his Hollywood home this week.
Bro, why you think you're gonna just
Stop! You can hear Brown yelling, and his girlfriend tells him to stop. Through a reflection in the glass of Tumanov's truck, you see Brown put his hands on him.
That he had to
Yo.
him all the way in Atlanta after seeing a post on social media that he'd be at a club.
Today in court, prosecutors painted a picture of Brown as someone having escalating problems with police and family, as well as having mental health issues.
Hit the back of my head. He shake me, banged me against the wheel.
Moving truck driver who was allegedly assaulted by NFL legend Antonio Brown.
NFL legend is a stretch.
This one trick can stop you from overspending on all your purchases online. Amazon is overcharging.
He reaching heavy on that one. I don't know about NFL legend.
23rd, Brown turned himself into authorities for assaulting a delivery driver, charged
this
with
nigga,
felony
bro.
burglary of a vehicle, misdemeanor battery, and misdemeanor criminal mischief. He received 2 years probation and 100+ hours of community service, and was eventually ordered to pay more than $1 million to the delivery driver who left Brown's home that day, battered, bruised, and had 2 herniated discs.
Ooh.
On July 31st, Brown was suspended for 8 games by the league for multiple violations of the league's personal conduct policy.
A felony case involving alleged battery against a truck driver, as well as allegations by an artist. There remains an ongoing civil suit in the state of Florida involving Brown's former trainer, who has accused him of sexual harassment and sexual assault.
On October 27th, Brown would be signed by the now Tom Brady-led Buccaneers.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl.
And now they get a chance to get one of the most explosive players to ever play football.
That's what happened. They did go to the Super Bowl and won it. This was the Super Bowl where they blew up the Chiefs.
Another incident would come to light in which Brown destroyed a surveillance camera and reportedly threw a bicycle at security. However,
Bro,
the Hollywood Oaks
chucking bicycles now?
refused to press charges, with some news reports stating that the president told police she feared Brown may retaliate against her employees.
Teddy.
But Brown's season would go on, going home with a Lombardi trophy.
Buccaneers have a second Super Bowl title in franchise history.
On December 2nd, Brown was suspended for 3 games for misrepresenting his COVID vaccination status.
Oh yeah, I remember this. I think this was the season where he quit. Yeah, right here. Yep.
Go from the team. There's too much at stake. Somebody within their team be a distraction and creating problems the way that Antonio Brown just did.
And the way Brady has gone out on a limb for him.
Dang, AB. Can't be doing that, buddy.
In those 30 years.
After the game, head coach Bruce Arians,
I forgot all about Bruce
that Brown
Arians.
was no longer a Buck.
leave a field like that, and is this the last strike for him?
He is no longer a Buck.
According to reports, wanted him to go back into the game, and Brown refused. And Arians stated to leave if he doesn't want to go back in.
But AB did say he was hurt
Brown would
though.
tell his side of the story. He claimed that he was forced to play on an injured ankle
Yeah.
and required surgery, and that when he told Arians he couldn't do it anymore, he was told to leave. An MRI on Monday revealed broken bone fragments, a ligament torn from the bone, and cartilage loss. Arians claims, however, that he had no knowledge of this injury, and when he asked why Brown didn't want to go back into the game, he stated that he wasn't getting the ball, and that's when he asked Brown to leave.
But it's crazy, like the drive. I think the drive before that, he had cooked some corner on his crazy comeback route, like, and he looked fine, and then just I don't know, bro. I don't know.
2022,
Okay, I remember this. Yeah.
Exposing himself to a woman and guests at a public pool.
Then
At
dumped
one
her in the
point,
pool.
grabbing and slamming the woman into the pool. All this while being completely nude. At the end of the video, Brown lifts his out of the water and flashes the woman again. According to witnesses, they
And it's a
claim the
white girl
woman was
too.
Angry after this, and even went in to complain about him. Brown was asked to leave the hotel shortly after the incident.
She
While
should have
at the
pressed
hotel,
charges.
Other complaints also surfaced, including smoking marijuana in his room and flaunting his bare chest to guests. Later
What
that
the
month, Brown started to take shots at his former friend, Tom Brady, joking about his alleged divorce from his wife. He continued to torment his
Giselle.
former mentor up until last week, when he posted a picture of Brady and Giselle with his face photoshopped over Brady.
Yo,
The only people in the
I never
league
saw that
stood
one
for him
before.
and supported him in the back.
Police in the Tampa area staking out the home of former Bucks player Antonio Brown. This comes after an arrest warrant was issued for him.
On December 1st, an arrest warrant was issued for Brown, accused of domestic violence. According to court documents, mother of 4 of his kids says he locked her out of her Tampa house, tossed out her belongings, threatened to shoot her, threw a shoe at her, then refused Tampa Bay Police Department's requests to come out. On January 17, 2023, an explicit photo was posted by Brown to his Snapchat of Chesley Caris, the mother of his children, performing on him, which caused Brown's account to be suspended. Brown went to Twitter stating that his account had been hacked. Karis would state, "I am very sorry for any of your kids that follow him and used to look up to him as a role model. I do not condone these actions, as you are aware. I have kids involved as well." In the ensuing months, multiple arrest warrants would be issued due to failure to make child support payments. On August 20th,
Bro should not be
Brown
failing
tweeted, "My
to
CT
pay some
acting
child
like
support,
all
bro.
y'all Whoever played on my name." Earlier
Bro got
that
hella
year,
money.
in February, Brown accused James Harrison of giving him CTE due to
It
a
was
hit
Vontae's
he received during
birthday.
practice from Harrison, and stated that the helmet
Oh.
Harrison wore was illegal.
Dang.
I wanted to tell you guys that I think James Harrison gave me CTE. James Harrison had a legal helmet for over 20 years in the NFL, and he hit me one time. And ever since he hit me, I've been super aggressive.
Before these incidents, Brown would vehemently deny the possibility that he had developed CTE throughout his 12-year NFL career.
The same thing I walked off the field for that I didn't want to get, CTE, it's the same thing they put on me to say I got CTE to crazy.
Antonio Brown's father was one of the greatest
Oh, that's his
receivers
dad?
in arena football history. And on March 2nd, 2023, Brown would become part owner of the team his father had played his entire career with, the Albany Empire. But soon, Brown's new venture off the gridiron would begin to unravel rapidly.
Of course it would.
An ensuing battle over ownership would take place, with Brown initially owning 47.5%, claiming he owned 100%, which was denied by fellow owners, but nearly came to fruition, with Brown buying out the other partner, now owning 95% of the team.
Yo, that is
Brown
crazy.
didn't own the team at all, and in fact was owned
Oh,
by a
wow.
separate entity, a fact that was attempted to be cleared up by Brown himself in a cryptic message. "I, Brown Antonio Tavares, a foreign national but not a citizen of the United States."
His middle
of
name
birth,
is
and
Tavares? Boris?
Regarding recent reports that have been circulating in the media regarding my supposed ownership of the Albany Empire team. I want to make it very clear that I am not the owner of this team, and any claims to the contrary are completely false. A statement that confused more than it clarified. A statement filled with lies and inaccuracies. Even at one point during the season, Brown claimed he was going to step on the field and play for the team he owned.
Just got kicked out the Holiday Inn Marriott.
On June 3rd, 2023, Brown was kicked out of a hotel where the Albany Empire was staying due to complaints of loud music and marijuana smoke. And according to multiple reports, players and staff weren't being paid as recently as late April, and the team's former head coach, Damon Ware, ended up leaving the Empire.
So AB won't paying them?
And on June 15th, everything would collapse.
I would have quit.
Absolutely over. There'll be no more games inside MVP Arena.
Today, around 1:20 today, the National Arena League sent out a press release saying that the Albany Empire is out of the league.
The Arena League has officially kicked Antonio Brown's Albany Empire out of the league.
But this season is over. It's over because Antonio Brown and the Empire did not pay their league assessment fees, not one dime of them.
Yo.
Brown and the Albany Empire was kicked out of the AFL due to their refusal to pay bills. The league would put out a statement. After acquiring the Albany Empire, new team owner Antonio Brown paid the Empire's April assessment, the league said. The team then failed to make their May 15th assessment payment, and last week, just before the Empire's game in Orlando, the league was notified that the April assessment was being challenged. Unfortunately, Mr. Brown has failed to meet the deadline to his team's required financial obligations, and as a result, the league has terminated his membership agreement, the league said in a statement. After exhausting all avenues, the NAL Board of Owners have decided unanimously to terminate the membership agreement of the Albany Empire. The decision was reached after an emergency conference call to discuss the Empire's failure to pay their league-mandated and overdue assessments.
She tells them this my field.
Everyone's mind was, what went wrong?
CTE is what went wrong.
A mounting concern over a disease called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, more commonly known as CTE.
Hard-hitting numbers today in a new study about football and head trauma. 99% of the brains of former NFL players studied were damaged.
All of these people have one thing in common. They're all at risk for CTE, chronic
traumatic
encephalopathy.
That's the hit right there that started it all, man.
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a progressive and fatal brain disease associated with repeated traumatic brain injuries, including concussions and repeated blows to the head. It's a common belief that the hit Brown sustained in the 2015 wildcard game was what caused him to get CTE, but this is highly unlikely, as CTE is developed through the culmination of head impacts and concussions and takes years for symptoms to become evident. It is not an overnight change. Symptoms of CTE include trouble thinking, memory loss, impulsive behavior, aggression, depression, emotional instability, substance misuse, and suicidal thoughts or behavior. Many of these symptoms seem to be evident in Brown's erratic actions at the end of his career. It's a common misconception that concussions alone led to CTE, but in fact, non-concussive blows also have an impact. In a recent study by Boston University, out of 376 former NFL players, 345 had CTE. Brown played a total of 12 years in the NFL, 3 years in college, 4 in high school, and a couple in Pop Warner. Brown is at a high risk. According to Dr. Ann McKee, director of Boston University's CTE Center, every 2.6 years of football at any level doubles your risk of CTE, and the longer you play and the higher level that you play, the greater your risk. Aaron Hernandez, 3 years in the NFL, stage 3 CTE. Giovanni Belcher, 4 years in the NFL, CTE. Phillip Adams, 5 years in the NFL, CTE. Demaryius Thomas, CTE.
He was 2 years into the league. He had 1,000 yards receiving the year before, had been to a Pro Bowl as a receiver, as a returner. So he's walking by, and I said to myself, when y'all give him his money, you're going to create a monster.
Another popular theory into what caused Brown's downfall is simply a result of ego and narcissism, as explained by ex-Steelers safety Ryan Clark. Once Brown made his money, his personality seemingly changed. The way he disrespected coaches, teammates, and friends seems to support this theory. In total, the stories of those who have encountered Brown paint a portrait of a superstar athlete living a rock star lifestyle, of a man who rose from poverty and anonymity in Miami to stardom and wealth on a national stage, only to make a habit of insulting, attacking, and betraying people he saw as being beneath his station. An NFL great who fell from grace, marring his legacy in scandal
accused of sexually assaulting a woman who worked as his trainer
and controversy.
Issues. Hollywood police have been called to his home approximately 18 times since December.
Man, that was very, 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 very interesting, man. Oh my gosh. I hope AB gets the help he needs, man, because CTE is a very, very, very dangerous illness, bro. You see what happened with Aaron Hernandez. Hopefully that doesn't happen with AB, but he's trending down the wrong path, man. But I haven't heard nothing too crazy about him lately, so I'm guessing he's been chilling out somewhere. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction video. If you did, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, turn on my post notifications so you get notified whenever I drop another banger video. And thank you guys for 50 subscribers, man. I love you guys so much. People that have been rocking with me from the very jump, man. We halfway to 100, man. Halfway to 100. We have 51 subs now, so I really appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys. I'm out. Gang.